Hi, I'm Charlie, and I'm the video lead here at Perkbox. Many people love the winter months. I know I do. Hot drinks, hearty dinners, family reunions, and for me, Christmas jumpers. But like any time, it has its own set of challenges. Employee well-being has been a present concern for businesses for a while now, and it has become even more important in the last few years. Today, I'll be sharing some tips and suggestions on how you can make sure you and your teams stay well and happy as we head into the winter months. First, people's routines will organically start to change as it gets colder. The good habits people have formed through the summer might stick around, but some things just aren't evergreen. For example, I love running, and it's the main exercise I really stick to and do consistently. Now, I know I can keep running in the cold and wet, but I also know that realistically, I just won't. So a great way to help employees keep on top of their good habits is to provide and recommend resources and tools that are going to help. For example, for me, I have recently switched to doing at-home video workouts in the living room. So when I'm working from home, I take 20 minutes of my lunch break every single day and do a HIIT workout. And occasionally my daughter likes to join in as well. You can find these kinds of workouts online, but lots of businesses now are offering well-being benefits packages with advanced curricula and curated sessions that run in order and things like that. They're really good, and you might want to explore something like this as a useful resource for your teams. Or you might already have access to something like this, and if you do, it might be a good time to send out a reminder for your employees. If you have access to an office space, maybe you run a group video session with your people as a way to get them involved and let them know that that service even exists. Yoga or HIIT workouts are normally pretty good for this. Another big change to routines comes from it actually being dark outside. You just can't get as much out of your days and evenings when it's darker earlier. I used to work in a building with very little natural light and was always a little sad that in winter I'd arrive in the morning and it was dark. And then when I left in the evening, it was dark. I always saw this as just a bit of a shame, but for some, the changes in the weather and the seasons can actually make a real impact on their state of mind. Seasonal affective disorder, for example, can result in a persistent low mood, lack of energy, feelings of despair, and more. And while this condition is not fully understood, it's believed to be linked to a reduction in exposure to natural sunlight during the winter months. And you might not necessarily have employees that are affected by this, but there are many other reasons people might need a little bit more support during the winter months. This is somewhere else that you can be proactive in supporting your people. If you have access to an employee assistance program or counselling of some kind, it might be a good time to remind employees about those services that you make available to them. Perhaps share some details about how they can access and use them. Exchanging gifts can certainly take a toll on the bank balance, but whether or not people are exchanging gifts, the winter months can cause other stress around finances that just aren't as much of an issue in other times of the year. Like sales teams won't be closing as many deals, so they're possibly taking home smaller commissions or bonuses that month. Emergencies at home, like a broken boiler or a smashed window, can actually cost 2 or 3 times the amount to fix on or around Christmas. And energy bills will be at their highest in the year, so people who pay as they go for energy will be paying more during this time. With these, there are a few things you can do. The biggest impact of these kind of situations is the stress that surrounds them, so again, ensure your employees know about the resources they have. Remind them about your employee assistance program, many of which provide support for financial stress. It's also a good time to encourage your employees to take advantage of discounts or perks you provide them as part of their employment. Even if it makes it a little bit easier to buy some gifts or save on their energy bills, it can still help. Finally, if you have a system whereby employees can withdraw their salary early when they need to, it might also be a good idea to remind them about that so that they have the flexibility to draw on that contingency should they need it. One other big area that can lead to stress and even burnout is workload. Some businesses have a natural lull during December and January where the work just subsides a little. This makes taking a couple of weeks off, for those that want to, easy to justify. Not all businesses are like that though, and for many companies, shutting down for 2 weeks actually affects the performance of the business. So it can be tempting to try and get the most out of employees on the run-up to any vacation or shutdown time because of this. but having too much to do and not enough time to do it can certainly cause stress and burnout among employees. It's important to try and inspire your employees to want to achieve great things in the time they have. For some, that's just a case of inspiring. For example, you can say things like, wouldn't it be great if we could get this exciting product update into our customers' hands before we take a well-deserved break? Or, we have a few repairs left. I would love to reunite all of our customers with their cars before we shut down for the year. While this approach won't work for everyone, employees that have a customer-centric mindset might be inspired more to achieve these goals. For others, setting deadlines for tasks can be motivating, and I know this works for me. I often like to set myself deadlines beyond what's expected as stretch goals, and that's useful for me, but it's important to gauge your employees. Some employees will find strict deadlines can add more stress to their work. When planning the winter months, especially in December, try to break tasks down into must-haves and nice-to-haves, and be realistic about whether something really has to be done before you all break up. For real must-have work, it's a good idea to set deadlines, but be sure to make them realistic. A realistic but challenging deadline will inspire some, but an impossible or stress-inducing deadline will normally inspire no one and can actually switch people off, because people don't see any point in striving for what they see as an impossible goal. Importantly, keep your eye on the team. If you need to help them prioritize and set goals, that's a good use of your time. And if they seem stressed, it might be an indicator of too much work and not enough time. Where you can, try and delegate work to others, or just go back to that question, is this a must-have or a nice-to-have? Finally, do what you can to make the workplace fun during this time. If you're able to take your foot off the gas a little bit, it's a good time to do it. Where you can, run events like a gift exchange, a team lunch, yoga sessions, a movie night, baking or costume competitions. After all, it'll be full steam ahead again as soon as everyone returns. And in January, it might be worth another little reminder about those online fitness sessions and EAP services. To review, provide resources and tools where possible to help with employees' physical and mental well-being, and to alleviate financial stress. Actively remind employees to take advantage of the resources you provide. Be honest about jobs that need to get done before time off. Are they must-haves or are they nice-to-haves? Don't expect the same level of productivity, especially in December and January. Set reasonable deadlines for must-have work. Where possible, make the time to check in with your team to see how they are, and make the workplace fun. I hope you found today's video helpful. We'd love to get your thoughts on this, so feel free to let us know in the comments. For more useful insights on the world of work, why not subscribe to our channel? We'll be adding new videos on a regular basis. And don't forget to check perkbox.com for loads of other content, including articles, checklists, guides, and more. Thanks for watching.